Hello, my name is Bianca and I am in Project and Portfolio 4, Section 2. The NPC item I created is a Fang used by Raven as a projectile to fight the player. In order to create the NPC item, I created a 2D sprite and used the skin from one of the Unity asset packages I downloaded, Retro ACT RPG Sprite Pack. If we press play, you can see that the NPC throws the Fang at a speed of 5 and every 2 seconds. The Fang follows the players when thrown, and if the Fang hits the player, it disappears. If the Fang doesn't hit the player, it will disappear after 3 seconds. Now that I've shown you the functionality of the code, I will move on to my handy-dandy checklist. Here we have a Trello card that contains all the information I need in order to create the Fang and functionality of it. First thing I have here is the due date. This just helps me keep track of my time management for this project. Next, we have a brief description of the item, which helps remind me what my initial idea for the NPC item is. The document attached has more specific information about the item, but I'll go into more detail about that later. Lastly is the checklist. This checklist helps me organize what steps I need to take in order to create the item. It is very useful because it helps me organize and remember each step I need to take. Now let's go into detail about the document attached to my Trello card. Within this document contains specific details about the item. The item is named Fang, it is a projectile, the NPC owner is Raven the Bat, the location is wherever Raven is, it is an object type, it resembles the fang of a bat, and it is triangular. The attributes that the Fang has are a speed of 5, it interacts with the player only, it has a hitbox area of 1 tile, the rate of fire is 1 Fang every 2 seconds, it causes damage of 3 hearts. It disappears when it collides with anything including the player or after 3 seconds after being shot. It also travels in a straight line after being shot by Raven. It is used for fighting and hitting the player. It can be found with Raven or in rare occasions in treasure boxes and stores. Lastly, we have the scripts that make the Fang function. We have 2 scripts, NPC projectile and Fang controller. One is made to allow the NPC to shoot the Fang, and the other is to control the different attributes of the Fang. In NPC projectile, we have GameObject Fang, which is used to make a reference to the Fang prefab in Unity, public float fire rate, which is used to control how many Fangs per second are being thrown, float next fire, which is used to reference the next time the Fang will be fired, check if time to fire, used to reference the check if time to fire function below and make sure it is called once per frame. Check if time to fire function is used to allow the Fang to shoot after the set fire rate. Next we have the Fang controller script. In this script we have a public float speed, which is used to control the speed of the Fang, private rigid body 2D, which is used to reference the 2D rigid body component on the Fang prefab, public game object target, a game object used to reference the player as the target of the Fang, vector 2 move direction, which is used to make a reference for the direction in which the Fang goes, the RB2D equals getComponent rigid body, which is used to call to the 2D rigid body component on the Fang prefab. Target equals GameObject.find GameObject with tag player, which is used to identify who the target is and looks for the tag player to identify the target as the player. The move direction and RB2D.velocity equals new vector 2 lines of code are used to indicate which direction the Fang will be going. The destroy GameObject3F is used to destroy the Fang object after 3 seconds of being shot. Lastly, we have the private void on trigger 2D and the if statement. This is used to make sure that the Fang is destroyed when it hits the player, and if it does, it will write hit within the console in Unity indicating that the line of code works properly. This concludes my explanation on the process of creating my NPC item. Thank you for watching.